All right, if you just joined us, this is still Enterprise Weekend, reaching you from our headquarters in Lagos, Nigeria, Enterprise Television. It is. Now let's go to our main conversation for today. Gunmen kidnapped over 20 medical and dental students plus a house officer in Benue State while they traveled to a convention in Enugu. The ambush occurred around 5:30 p.m. in the Otukpo area. The victims from the University of Maiduguri and University of Jos were heading to the Federation of Catholic Medical Dental Students annual event. Benue State Police Command spokesperson SP Catherine Anene confirmed the abduction and ongoing investigation. No ransom demands or release conditions have been made yet. This incident is part of a growing trend of kidnapping in Nigeria, where criminal groups target individuals and groups for hefty ransom. The police are working to rescue the students and bring the perpetrators to justice. And just to give you a developing story, we have received that the kidnappers are asking for 50 million naira for 20 of them that have been kidnapped. So that's the developing story. Well, with us today to do this topic and of course make sense out of it, we still have in the studios with us Barrister Vance Ofeli. Thank you, Barrister, for hanging on. And joining us virtually, we have John Akerele. He is a public affairs commentator. Hello, John.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for giving us your time. We truly do appreciate it. All right, so let's kick off our show today, and I'd love to start with you, John, on this particular issue. There we have 20 medical students, particularly amongst them, about 12 of them are in their final year. So in a couple of years from now, they'll be certified medical doctors. And this is coming at a time when 55,000 Nigerian doctors have left the country, which of course means it's a very difficult issue for our health ecosystem. What do you make of this, John?
Thank you for your question. Good morning to everyone. I think for me, it's a sad experience. And this has been part of the things we've been saying to this present administration, that the issue of security, should be a paramount issue. And for me, this also shows that apart from the jackpot trend of our medical doctors moving out of the country because of an environment that's not conducive enough for them, the other thing again is the security trends of these personnel. Now, this is a new trend of kidnapping or a new dimension of insecurity in another level, where medical staffs are the targets. Why? So that they can be able to take care of their own people who are sustaining injuries in the course of their encounter with their security personnel. And so it's a strategic move by the so-called terrorists or the groups who are causing this mayhem. And the government of the day must sit down to make sure that every life is secure. Now, if they are kidnapping doctors, the next are the professors, meaning that they also want part of their people to be educated. Do you understand? So it shows that there's still a lacuna for this administration as far as security is concerned. Now people are not moving out of the country. That's not jackpot. Now, if they cannot move out, they will kidnap them. And so I think the government of the day must look at what we're saying. When we come on programs and have like to talk, it's not because we don't are trying to succeed, but because we all want the well-being of the country. We are all Nigeria, and Nigeria belongs to all of us. And so, the same way a farmer must be secure in his farmland, the students be secure in their campuses, the market women be secure in their markets. That is the only way we can have economic growth. I'm not throwing of rice and bags all around.
Very, very true. Thank you so very much, the Barrister Vance Ofeli. There we have it. He mentioned a very important point there. It's possible these kidnappers might be, having these people in their hub so they can take care of wounded, personalities from their own end. But of course, that is a discussion for another day. In Nigeria, as we speak to you, according to the World Health Organization, puts the doctor-patient ratio at 1 to 600. In Nigeria, it's a different case. We have 1 to 2,500. It's a very distasteful situation. and now we have 20 doctors. Don't you think this would have a very significant effect on the system?
Yeah, this is not just an attack to the medical sphere of the country, but this is also an attack to humanity in general. Because, okay, look at what you said now, 1 doctor to 2,000 plus, right?
Yes.
So what it means is that if you have 1 doctor, there's a tendency that the life of over 2,000 persons may be preserved from either pestilence, epidemic, endemic, or whatever it is. Okay? So for us to have students who are training to be doctors and those who have already reached their final year to be kidnapped, and 20 of them for that matter, what it means is that we have set in motion a very dangerous trend, or we have allowed ourselves to be used by, the forces of the underworld to set a dangerous motion for our health sector. Now, the worst part of it is that it's not even making news.
Exactly.
It's not discussed in the. There's a committee on public health care at the National Assembly. It's not a subject matter there. Okay. Now the abductors are asking for ransom. Okay. It has not even become a national issue. Then at the end of the day, the federal government will tell you that we have scarcity of doctors and all that. From the University of Jos and from
University of Maiduguri,
the 2 of them are federal schools. And those are the schools where the federal government, subsidize education. Because University of Education in Nigeria is subsidized truly, especially at the federal schools.
Yeah.
What you will spend to become a doctor in a federal university is not what you will spend to become a doctor in a state university.
Or private.
Yes, or a private university. So it's subsidized. So now this is the outcome of government policy on subsidizing education. Now, those who are the outcomes are the students, whom you are supposed to ensure that you have proper security in the country so that your investment on them, on human capital, is not wasted. Now they are in captivity. Okay? Each of them qualify as a very important entity in the course of the advancement of human health in Nigeria. But now they're in captivity, and it's not making news. So it tells you where our priority is as a country. That our priority is not in the development of this country or in its growth, but our priority is in other things. You understand? If it were to be in the US, where 1 citizen is in trouble, the United States will deploy M16 or deploy the Navy or whatever it is, and the security forces to go rescue 1 person. But we don't have such here. We need to legislate rescue mission in this country, because the country has grown to a point where you now have this kind of crime, kidnapping, as one of the most deadliest, heinous crime in Nigeria. Okay, but I know the police have an anti-robbery squad, anti-kidnapping squad, but how effective are they? We should have an institution that will be trained in this counter-kidnapping and rescue mission for those who have been kidnapped. Not all the time you go pay ransom. These persons have been kept within the same country. You should use technology to find their location. You should use technology to uncover the culprits and then get them arrested and rescue the citizens.
Very true. John, like we did say, the developing story we have, apart from the 50 million naira ransom being demanded, one of the medical guys that were amongst them said that the abductor said they will start killing them from tomorrow if that ransom is not paid. At this point, what do you think parents of these young doctors should do? And knowing that, interestingly, like Pastor Evans did say, it's not making news on any mainstream media station. So what do you think parents of this people should start doing now?
Now, the thing I would say to you is, when the government fail in their own duties and responsibility, the people resort to self-help. As Nigerians, we have always looked to self-help. When there's no light, we buy the generator. When there's no public water, we dig our own borehole. When there's no security, we get vigilante in our own streets. And that has shown a failure of government in consecutive years. And so, if the government of the day knows that the primary purpose of governance is protection of lives and property, but the government have failed the people severally, maybe if you have an encounter with somebody whose relative, whose husband, whose sibling has been a direct contact of this erroneous incident, then you will understand how they feel. Now, even when the government says they are going to rescue you out, the trust is not there, that they believe that the government indeed will help them. And these so-called guys who have kidnapped these people will not go back by showing examples. Don't forget, it's a game of truth or dare. I dare you to kill or not to kill. And you will see that either of these 30 doctors, one of them will be used as a sacrificial lamb to show the government that we are not joking here. And it is a shameful thing that Nigerian government cannot secure the length and breadth of the country, so-called Nigeria. If our medical students, who are the backbone of our healthcare system in the country, are seen as a target, then it means that we are failed as a nation. But they don't want to respond to this. You know why? How many of our political allies use our public hospitals? They don't care about it. Why? Because there is medical tourism. They go abroad to get medicals. And so if a doctor is kidnapped in Nigeria, they don't need a fuck about it. So that's report. But that is the truth of the matter. That's the reality on ground. So I think the families of these people should see how they can work with government to make sure that none of the relatives who are in the captain of this captivity is being used as a sacrificial lamb. And that the government will wake up to its due duty of securing lives and property in the country. One, the case of transparency in governance has been a problem that Nigerian government over the years have not been able to settle. You hear of billions and billions allocated to security, and at the end of the day, we are not even secure. Then you ask yourself, where is the money expended? Who is in charge of this contract? How many of these ammunition have been delivered? What is exactly the problem that we are not able to deal with insecurity for the past 14 years? And insecurity has moved from one level to a multi-dimensional level, just like we have multi-dimensional poverty in the country. And then we keep boasting by the end of Africa. And so I think it's a wake-up call for every political leader in Nigeria today to know that the security of one person, either a school pupil or a university professor or a farmer or a market woman, is the sacrosanct aim of governance, and they should do that without due respect.
Very true. Thank you so very much, Barrister Vance. He did mention a very, very emotional, element in the course of his submission. It's possible these people might use one of the doctors as a sacrificial lamb just to prove that it's possible for them to carry out their threats and, of course, requesting that the ransom be paid. We just ended the hashtag End Bad Governance a couple of weeks back. The number of security operatives that were there were more than enough. Now, if this energy is to be poured into ensuring security and lives of the people, I don't think these medical students would be where they are today. Where are we getting it wrong?
We are getting it wrong because the life of the average Nigerian is not prioritized. Okay? The lawmakers and the government, the ministers, the president, and the rest of them don't really care much about the people. Unfortunately so. You are leading a people. These people don't have security. They don't have food. They don't have shelter. They don't have so many basic things of life. And you don't care. And you still think that they should not protest. They should be curtailed. They should be tamed so that they will die in their poverty. Okay? The Constitution says in section 14.2 that it is hereby accordingly declared that sovereignty belongs to the people, through which government derive its legitimacy, that the security and welfare of the people shall be the primary purpose of government. The security and welfare. The Nigerian don't have security, does not have welfare. So what it means is that there is no government. So we keep pretending, thinking that we have a government. Anytime there is something, I was have to call on the government. Which government are you calling upon? A government that cannot guarantee your security, cannot guarantee your welfare, is no government. Because the law says security and welfare of the people is the essence, is the primary purpose of government. So when you don't have government. So as he said, I think that calling on the government on this program is a waste of time. Even though it is necessary we do so. Perhaps they'll have a change of heart. But self-help, we have seen that self-help is a more credible option in Nigeria, unfortunately, than relying on the government. Because look at it. From when you build your house, you provide water for yourself, you provide light for yourself, you provide security for yourself. All the things that government is supposed to do, you provide it for yourself. Then you will now pray on top of it again, sanctify it, and use the blood of Jesus to seal everything up before you now begin to sojourn. So in this case now, for me, I think the people will have to look for a way to find a solution to get their loved ones out of that place. Either by prayers, by giving the ransom, or by any other means possible. That's what I think, because I did a case not too long ago where a woman, the husband was kidnapped. And we went to the police station to report. The police asked us to go and pay ransom.
Really?
That when that DPO was kidnapped, that the police paid ransom. You understand? So when you get to that level, you begin to ask yourself, whether really is this a country or a joke? So they may have to, and not too long ago, the federal government the National Assembly came up with a bill that they want to criminalize the payment of a ransom. Yes, that anybody that pay ransom will be, it will become an offense, and the person will be charged to court and all that. When they abandoned the bill at the house, I was just laughing. So you are not able to provide security. When people now want to ensure that their loved ones are safe by paying ransom, you now want to criminalize it. That the bill did not even see the light of the day.
Very true.
Because it shouldn't. Government should take care of the citizens. That is their only purpose. That is why there's enormous resources in their disposal. That is why they need to do the needful. But when they refuse to do that, the people will resort to self-help, because the people cannot die in this whole arrangement.
Very true. John, just before we wind up, a couple of days back, the coordinating minister of health, Mohammed Pete, and his principal, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, launched a program. They said they would, that would make it possible for healthcare practitioners in the front line to remain in Nigeria. Now we have about 20 of these people in captivity. Do you think this is another form of a deceptive program from this administration?
No, let's look at this from this angle. And I tell people that care to listen. When you have constructive criticism against the administration, don't throw away the messenger and the message. Even though the messenger might be your opposition, pick the message. We have talked about bad governance and the effect. Bad governance destroys people from generations to generation. It destroys lives. Those people who have resorted into terrorism now are a product of bad governance over consecutive years. And if we are not careful, it will consume all of us. And that's the more reason why government should know that they must, in all areas, come up with policies that are really good, that can help the people. Now, let me tell you, if you say you want to scale all your schools, they move to another target. If you're in primary school, please. If you scale primary schools, they move to the market women. They move to the farmers. They will always look for a soft target to target. And that's why we say, make Nigeria a working society that works for everybody, irrespective of your cadre or your class or your level of education. Let a organizer of the street of Lagos be able to take care of himself. Let a sweeper, a cleaner in his van have a good living. Let there be free education from people from primary school to secondary school. Let us scholarship and subsidized fee for our universities. Until we put all of these things into place, we are not ready yet. And so, even looking at our special apparatus and architecture, the current police we have now in Nigeria cannot even secure the whole of the country. How many of these police have been attached to the VIPs? In Nigeria, a governor will have about 12 policemen. His wife will have 14 policemen. His governor will have 16 policemen. Just a governor. not about the PAs. And so it shows to you that they care more about themselves than the people. And that shows a sign of a failed state. And so from now, they should go back to the drawing board and ask themselves, what do we need to do to make sure that the length and breadth of the country is secure? Because it's only in a secure place that the economic growth is achievable. It's only in a secure place that you have prosperity that flows from the length and breadth of the country. And so, as the government of the day, you might not like me as a person, John Akere, but listen to what I'm saying to you and pick out the facts from there and make sure that we have a working society that can work for everybody. Nigeria is for everyone, and then we all want a working society that works for us. Irrespective of your religion, your tribe, or your region. We don't care about that. We only want a working system. And so, even if you go back now and ask the so-called police officer, you'll see that their welfareism is so poor. A policeman in Nigeria does not earn 100,000 naira, just a constable. And then you ask yourself, from the police station, you go there to make a case, they tell you don't have fuel to even follow you to your place. You want to write a statement, they tell you to pay for stationaries as low as a parent to write a statement. And that should be showing the kind of decadence we have in our spirit architecture that need to be pulled down. All of these things point to one thing. The government lack transparency, it lack accountability. And so it's now a case of who thief more. I say you are a thief. You say, my own thief is small. How you because you are a big thief? Thief is thief. And so if we are giving laws to criminalize medical officers from traveling abroad, can we also give laws to criminalize politicians who have embezzled state funds? Can we also bring laws to criminalize politicians who have embezzled state funds? Can we criminalize politicians who have failed in their political promises to the people, even though they have all the revenues allocated to them? Go back to your senators. How many of those senators that have been in the House of Assembly for 20 years or 24 years calculate how much they've been given in terms of constituency allowance, and then look at the prayer that they've been executed? Can you say that the amount they've been given is equivalent to the prayer that they have done? The answer is no. So these are the points of correction that this government needs to look into. Also, the power at the center is too much. I've said it at the until we come to practice true federalism, through restructuring, where every region can compete at their own resources, where every region can grow at their own pace, where every region can secure the length and breadth of their own borders. Then can we say we have a nation? Presently, what we have is not working, and we must tell ourselves that it's not working. Can it work? Yes, it can. And that's why all of us must come to that table of discussion and ask ourselves, this constitution we are calling a constitution today, is it truly a constitution that can work for the betterment of Nigeria? The answer is capital no. And so we must agree that it's not working. Can it work? Yes, it can work. And that's why all hands must be on deck. If you're not taking care of your scarce personnel, you're not taking care of your lecturers, you're not taking care of the market women, you're not taking care of your farmers, then who are you taking care of? And so tell me, there's no aspect of the current president that is working, not even one. Education is a collapse. And until we start saying that our political office holders, for you to be able to consider in Nigeria, you must also patronize public services. For example, if I'm a governor, my wife, my children must attend general hospital in Lagos State. If I'm a House of Rep member or a senator, if I'm sick, take me to the hospital in my constituency. Until we stay there as governor, there's no syringe. Then you will understand and ask questions. And what about the money that you have been expended in the Ministry of Health budget? Where is the money goes? Until we come to this point of the basic truth, that we are not accountable, we are not transparent, we are frivolous, and we take too much thing for a job. So if you tell me that other countries of the world are doing things, then ask yourself a question. How much do they earn? The cost of governance in Nigeria is too high. So we must come to that point where we need to slim, our fat belly, go to the gym and slim down the cost of governance so that we can have more than enough resources that will go to the true welfareism of these people. And welfareism comes from the grassroots. And until we get to that point, we are still playing.
Very true, very, very true. Ambassador Vance Ofedi in 60 seconds. He talked about public office holders taking or using public institutions and infrastructure for themselves. The last time at the beginning of the administration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he was not feeling that too well. Of course, he was, traveled to France and the UK for his health concerns. At what point and how do you feel we can better communicate to those in authority so they see reasons to invest more in our infrastructure here?
The way to communicate to the leaders is part of what we did in the last, the first 10 days in this month, first 10 days in August, the protests that went on. More of it should be organized, okay? And then the people should also look at their senators and those who were nominated as ministers, who eventually became minister at the center. For the lawmakers, you can recall them, okay? For the ministers, you cannot recall them because it's the president that appoints. But you can make a statement to the effect that these people are not doing well. They are not effective. The leadership role that they took an oath to undertake, they are not doing that because the people have no security. If you have no security, you have nothing. Okay? If you have no food or you have no resources to access it, you have nothing. So the people must continue to organize themselves and reach out to government rather than agonize them. We have to consistently do that. There is a call for another protest from October 1st. Okay, that is the way to go. And we should also domesticate the protests. Okay, localize it. Go to our local government chairman, go to the persons representing us at the State House of Assembly. Keep the conversation ongoing until we get to a point where they have to listen to the plights of the average person.
Thank you so very much. Right here on Enterprise Television, it's actually very, we truly do hope and pray that this young, doctors and students to be would come home safely, and of course, and just pray and sincerely, wish that everyone that needs to do what they should do it, to ensure that there is no sacrificial lamb in this particular case. John Akerele would love to say thank you so very much for being part of our show. We truly do appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, and we wish to hope we would have you more, when we do come.
Anytime. I'm here for Nigeria.
Thank you so very much. Sylvain Sofeli, thank you as always for making our time to be part of our show today. But most importantly, we'd love to say thank you to you watching from wherever it is around the world. We'd love to say thank you for giving us your time. We truly do appreciate it. But please do well to visit our site at enterprisetvnews.com for more information on these and more, and also like, comment, and follow us on all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV7. I am Henry Igwebike. Thank you for watching, and have a nice weekend. Bye-bye.
Enterprise TV, a tradition of truth.